The Peugeot is going to be completing one less stop, you know, two less stops effectively. They're going to be a whole stop behind the Audis, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens then, because as we've seen all along, the Audis are not going as far on a tank of fuel, but their pit stops are faster. Plus, also on a regular basis, the Audis are going a little bit quicker than the Peugeot. So it's still very early in this race, relatively speaking. We're only what 6 hours in, so a heck of a long way to go.
We've only got 18 hours left. And a half.
Well, looking at it with different eyes. Oh, here's Andy Prio.
Andy,
years, but you know, it's you get to the point in your career that he's at, and he has to go out there and prove himself that he still has it, and he very much still does.
I don't want to sort of be derogatory in any way, but do you think he actually felt maybe a bit surprised that having been is in 6th position, so still the top 6 places are diesel engine cars, although one of them is not a current or factory run diesel engined car.
Yeah, the number 10 car, it's now doing pit stops only every 10 laps. It started off, its first stint was 10 laps, then it went to 11 for a couple of stints, and now it's back to 10 laps per stint for the 2010, the grandfather Peugeot from last year. Also, the number 9 car was just on pit lane, and I'm wondering why. They've handed over to Pedro Lamy to Sebastian Bourdais, but that was he only did a triple stint. Did Pedro Lamy, and that was only 9 laps.
And I can tell you why.
Stop, and the stop reason is
he couldn't see through the windscreen.
Yeah.
And funny enough, we've just had Tom Christensen down in the Radio Le Mans booth saying that whilst in perfect conditions, the sight lines out of the front of a
to do further development work and get the product ready for for racing.
Well, you can see again as we look at the screen how darkness is starting to have an effect. Not only does the heli shot look absolutely stunning, but you know, you can see cars now missing their orientation points, missing their braking point there. We saw one of the Ferraris getting it wrong at the Ford chicane, and this is all something that, you know, as a constructor, really, I suppose by the time things arrive, that's it, you're just here really to kind of, you know, pat them on the back or taste the champagne if it go well, because it's sort of out of your hands.
Yeah, unfortunately champagne's probably not tasted often as we'd like to, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can once the car's out there, you can't really do anything. Obviously, if there's a problem, then yes, you do your best.
Manager from Cytec Systems, thank you very much. We are going to swap channels again for our international viewers in just a second. Stay with us.
Look at them, they've had 2 more pit stops than the Peugeots have, so can they do it?
I mean, there was a point, wasn't there, last night where people were saying, well, they wouldn't blame Audi if they withdrew, but why? It wasn't their fault, these accidents. They were tangled with slower cars, and I don't know if it's been mentioned during the night on Eurosport, but certainly the news at the circuit here when we arrived is that Kaufmann was excluded by the ACO stewards for dangerous driving, an avoidable collision.
Yeah, both incidents were unrelated. Anyway, one taking place, of course, in daylight, and the other taking place in the dark.
Well, I mean, it's a difficult situation because, well, neither accident was caused by car failure, so I see no reason whatsoever for Audi to have, you know, needed to withdraw ever. Both just very difficult accidents to read, really. I can understand both situations for both drivers. I don't know, it's a tough one, really. I've got some opinions on it, but I feel like I should remain on the fence.
So Rob Kaufmann, having been told he's excluded, said it's been a privilege to be able to
I
park.
don't think they are, actually. They're out, I'm afraid, yeah.
Are they out? Or they've got a wheel? Oh yes, they are. They're out.
Yeah, they've been retired for a little while, I think, now. And interestingly, the 3 cars that are now leading LMP2 are all of the Nissan-powered cars. So, and definitely the Signatech car made a huge comeback from having a puncture and a couple other problems. When we left last night, they were quite a ways down the. It's still a very slippery, slow corner. So, if he was maybe trying to catch the safety, catch a safety car or something, it's hard to know. But certainly, they'll be very disappointed to have had an accident under those conditions, especially.
Thrown away second place. He was hunting down Tom Kimber-Smith, who leads that class.
That's too much crash. He's taken the entire front off.
Yeah.
It's obviously a sideways glance, isn't it? And he's just ripped the nose off it.
And David is by no means a Le Mans rookie. 44 years old. He's raced here 5 times now, and son of Johnny Halliday, the French Elvis Presley.
He would certainly be the least experienced driver in this car,
Yeah,
but,
of this
but
crew,
he's had
yeah.
enough Le Mans experience really at this stage, and you know, I hope I haven't just done the curse of the commentator on them, having just said how well those 3 Nissan powered cars were going.
Well, did you touch the marker, Liz?
I did not. Oh dear, no, this is done. This is game over, I'm afraid.
It's overheated.
Not going to make it. Yeah. And of course, this is going to extend the safety car period unless they can give it a local tow, quick local tow. But
now the rule is that you cannot go too far away from the car, so he's going to have to be careful. If he thinks there's any way at all he can get it back, I think this is finished, but he's going to need to make sure that he doesn't actually walk too far away from that vehicle.
so Hugh de Schonack then, well, we've seen this before, haven't we? Last year, Hugh de Schonack just absolutely gutted by that. That means he's lost.
I think that car could have been in for a possible win, really, in the LMP2 class.
Yeah, I'm
if
sure.
they kept the consistency going. And
Be interesting to get a replay and see what exactly happened there.
Yes, as you'll gather, our cameras are just starting to wake up as well, having had a night with only fixed cameras and the aero camera occasionally, and then the onboards to rely on. But
She looks snug.
and it is cold out there. It was 6 degrees on our way in. That's very